How are you today? Yeah, just sit down. Make yourself at home. I'm Dr. Elise John. I know I don't look like I'm a doctor, but I did complete my medical degree online while I was vlogging in South Asia. It was so nice. Let me tell you, actually, no, this is not the time nor the place. You're my patient, and I actually need a bit of info. I should have everything on my phone. You're my 3 o'clock, yes. You wouldn't know that. Oh, actually, you would. Are you my 3 o'clock? ADHD test, yes. Well, I am an ADHD doctor, yes, there's such a thing. Oh, don't mind all the things in my hair. I mean, my hot Pisces girl era. No, it's a thing. Pisces can be hot. They don't just cry all the time. They can be hot. 2024 is our year, regardless. Anyway, just a rapid vibe check. Not a fit check, girl. You slay. Look at you. Let me just ask you a few questions. So, your name, if you can spell that for me. Yes. Name, surname. I actually have all of that. Your pronouns? Yes. Okay. Great. Date of birth. You're so young. Oh my gosh. I love that for you. Okay. Alright. So look, this is gonna be very easy. All you have to do is respond to my questions. Because I have this test that is specifically made to basically tell if you have ADHD or not, which in that case, if you do, don't worry, we'll take care of that. But yeah, it's just to see if you do have ADHD. So these questions, they will sound kind of like out of pocket, but they are legit. Do not fear. Yes, I do have a medical degree. I know I don't look like it, but I'm super smart. No cap. Anyway, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You just have to select the right answer. There's no wrong or right answer. Actually, when I say you have to select the right answer, it means that you have to select the right answer for you. All right? Okay. Well, if that is all clear, we'll start with the question. Are you comfortable? Do you need anything? Chai latte, maybe? We have a few vegan snacks that I can fetch you if you want, because it is very important that you're completely relaxed for this test. No, we don't like it when people are depressed. Definitely not a vibe. I mean, if you are actually clinically depressed, that is an entire different thing. You would have to see the depression doctor. I'm the ADHD doctor, so I'm not well equipped for that. But yes, to the extent that that is possible, we would really much like for you to be completely at ease while conducting this test. It is very important for us that you are completely happy. And of course, after that appointment, you will have, if you are so inclined, to rate this appointment on Google Maps. Yes, the online ratings are very important for our clinic. Thank you, girl. Girl boss. Love you. Love you. Okay, let's start. First question. How often do you have trouble eating and leaving no crumbs once the challenging parts of a project have been done? Never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. Question number 2. How often do you have difficulty getting things in order when you have to do a task that requires main character energy? Never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. very clear. Question number 3. How often do you have problems remembering appointments or obligations? Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. Don't worry, girl, we've all been there. Like, I mean, I'm no watchdog. I'm like literally the worst. Can't remember anything. Sorry, I'm a bit extra sometimes. Bear with me. Okay, question number 4. You're doing so well, by the way. Like, you're slaying. When you have a task that requires a lot of thoughts, how often are you delulu and avoid or delay getting started, knowing full well it has to get done at some point? Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. Question number 5. This one personally gives me the ick, but no judgment regardless of your answer. You're a patient after all. That's just me. How often do you fidget or squirm with your hand or feet when you have to sit down for a long time? Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. Question number 6. How often do you feel overly active and compelled to do things like you're totally based and about to cook for absolutely no reason? Never, really, sometimes, often, really often. Oh, you're quite correct. You're quite correct. I said really often instead of very often. I actually meant very often, but you are quite correct. Thank you for pointing that out. Question number 7. How often do you make careless mistakes when you have to work on a project that's mid? Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. I get you, girl. I get you. I mean, if it's mid, you just like kind of get bored. Like, I only want to work on projects that are top tier, like yourself. You're such a great project for me. Okay, question number 9. How often do you have difficulty concentrating on what people say to you, even when they're yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping? Never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. Question number 10. How often are you told to go touch grass? Never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. I mean, yes. Never mind. Let's move on. Question number 11. You're keeping up. How often do you misplace or have difficulty finding things at home or at work? Never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. I mean, I don't even know why they put this question on the test. Like, we all have trouble. Like, I literally don't know where I put my shit. Or I'm always looking for my phone and it's like in my hand. Question number 12. How often are you distracted by activity, noise, music around you? Oh no, that's a banger. I mean, anyone would be distracted. Girl, are you kidding? That shit slaps. That's me, espresso. I know people are like, this is espresso, not espresso. Like, who cares? Love coffee. Oh, speaking of which, I am completely dehydrated. Can't go anywhere without my Stanley. Question number 135. How often do you feel restless or fidgety? Obviously, if it's at a time where tea must be spilled, doesn't count. I do love a good gossip, so I mean, you have to feel fidgety if that is the situation. But unless you're in a work environment where there's like gossip all the time, which is my case, there would be no reason for you to be fidgety at all times. So never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. Question number 1003. How often do you have difficulty unwinding and relaxing when you have some self-care time? Yes, girl, I love that for you. Never, rarely, sometimes, often, very often. Okay. Question number 4. How often do you find yourself yapping when you're in a situationship? Never, really? Sometimes, often, very often. I'm just laughing because, oh, I am being professional. Sorry if that, like, did that make you feel upset in any way? Because I'm so sorry. No, I was just thinking about my own situationship. I actually have 3 at the moment, but the main one. And I was just laughing at myself because I'm so delulu. Anyway, moving on. Question number 1. This is super cringe, but again, no judgment, whatever your answer is. When you're in a conversation, how often do you find yourself finishing the sentences of the people you're talking to before they can finish that themselves? Finish them themselves. Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. Okay, that's good. Question number 17. How often do you have difficulty waiting your turn in situations when turn taking actually is required? Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. Alright. Question number 18. How often do you interrupt others when they're busy? I mean, that's such a Karen move. I'm dead. Sorry. Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. I mean, I don't think that's an ADHD sign. Like, that's just rude and inappropriate. But who am I to say? Oh, actually, I'm an ADHD doctor, so I guess I can say that if I want to. Moving on. Question number 5. If you find something sus, how often can you take it off your mind? Never, really, sometimes, often, very often. We're all done. You totally understood the assignment. Congrats. So I'm running all the answers through our AI, and it's gonna give me the results in a bit. Just bear with me for a minute. Oh wow, yes, it is definitely giving ADHD no cap. But fear not, for you are in the best hands. There's nothing wrong with having ADHD. We're just gonna make sure that we can monitor it and that it is not an inconvenience in your life. Okay, so we're gonna book another appointment because things are gonna get pretty serious between us, unlike my situationship. All right, it was really nice to see you. Let's say next week sometime. Okay,